Today I'll show you how to use the REAPER Theme Replacer standalone application, which allows you to browse all the various theme files within multiple themes all at once, and then combine to create your own hybrid theme. This video will cover the Mac installation. Written instructions for Windows, Mac, and Linux will be in the user guide. Before you get started, I would recommend downloading a few different themes from the REAPER stash, stash.reaper.fm. Go to the themes category on the sidebar and then browse, see if you find anything you like. So I'm going to download a couple of these: Flat Madness 5 free, FL Logic, and Default 5 Midas. These are just three kind of at random I thought were interesting. When you download a theme, it will be in one of two different formats. One will have an extension of REAPER theme zip, and one will have a .zip. So the .zips you can just extract to the same folder. And when you add them to REAPER, you just need to take the two files here. And then this one, this theme, the FL Logic theme, includes toolbar menus and things like that. Those are kind of optional. So REAPER theme zip is the file that contains the REAPER theme and all of the resource files. And the just REAPER theme file would be a modification of the colors and things, all the things you can set within REAPER itself without editing any image files. So I'm going to take this and this and this and this and this, and I'm going to add them to my color themes folder and just drop them in. The themes aren't automatically activated, but they will be found in the list, and I can see that here. There's the FL Logic. Let's load one of them. One of the other new ones was Flat Madness. Default 5 Midas. Right. And so I'm going to switch to default theme for now. All right, let's continue with installation. So I will have a link to the theme replacer. The website's not done at the time of recording, but you will get a download with a zip file for the actual app. You'll get a refresh script and the README file or the user guide. So I'm going to extract the zip to get the installer DMG. Right-click, open. On Mac, you'll most likely get one of these prompts. You're going to go to the system settings, and then privacy and security, and scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there will be this new option here: REAPER Theme Replacer 1.0 DMG was blocked to protect your Mac. Click on Open Anyway, and in this window you will click Open Anyway, and you will enter your password, and then OK. The installer will open. We just need to drag and drop this to the applications folder. We can go to the applications folder, and again, we'll right-click open. Same thing happens with the actual app, just the first time you run it. So we'll click Done. Going back to privacy and security, click Open Anyway, password, and then the app opens. At this point, you're done with the system settings, and in Finder, you can close the applications folder, and you can eject the installer. So, taking you through the interface of REAPER Theme Replacer, we're going to start at the top left, and we're going to pick the REAPER theme folder. So click on the folder icon. We'll bring up a file browser. So on my Mac, I've already bookmarked or favorited the REAPER folder, and within here, I can just easily scroll to Color Themes folder, double-click to select it, and then click on Open. And then once that is selected, you click on the disk icon to save the themes folder. And if you want to open that folder, the third button there will open up the Color Themes folder in Explorer or Finder. So that gets you the list of all the themes on the left. Now moving over to the export file location, again, we're going to open up, this will be blank the first time you run it. You're going to go to the Color Themes folder, and you will select one of the themes. So the theme that we're editing will be Default 7. Once we start editing this, it will automatically make a copy of it. And if we want to save the export file location, we can just click this save button, and the folder location is saved, and the selected file will be saved. Once we've selected the file that we're editing, we'll see that it's bold within the editor. So default 7.0 is the one that is active. And then there's the list of all the other ones around it, anything that's within that Reaper color themes folder. We can just scroll through here and see a comparison of the different files. At this point, we can just click on, let's say, Clear View and then Export. And now a couple things happened. Replace the original file within the default 7 theme, and it's created a default 7 custom backup file. You may have seen that in some activity in the color themes folder. So the actual file that is active right now is default 7 custom. It automatically made that backup for us, and that's the one that we're editing, which is great. To actually see the changes, there's two ways we can approach this. We can click on Activate Theme on Export, select an image file, and then click Export. And then Reaper will switch to that theme automatically. And now, if we open up an envelope control panel, we can see that that image file for the arm button has been swapped out. So that's one way of doing it. We can also enable auto export, the second checkbox here. And this will automatically, every couple seconds, activate the theme whenever we choose a new file. So let's switch this to the clear view, the image file that was used in clear view. Reaper becomes active and that image file is updated. Switch back. Let's try the My Taste Plain. And there it is. So that's option one, making the theme active just as if you were double clicking on the theme file to have Reaper load that theme. I'm going to turn that off, activate theme on export. Now the second option is to install Digitt's script for this. The auto refreshes the current Reaper theme. So we'll need to find Reaper script folder. So options, show Reaper resource path in Explorer/Finder. And in here, there's just a folder called scripts. So we're going to go to our downloads folder, and we're going to get that theme replacer script. Digitt's Reaper theme mixer refresh script.lua. And we're going to copy and we're going to paste. And so now that script belongs in the correct folder. You can close that, open up the action list. I'm going to go to new action, load rescript. We don't want to point it to our downloads folder. We need it to stay within the Reaper scripts folder, just so everything's organized and stays together. We're going to select it and then open. And now that script is there. So we can run this. And if we go to actions, we run it 2 times. And as long as we see it here at the bottom of this list, this refresh script is active. And when we're done with this script, we can run it again and we'll get this prompt. Would you like to terminate all instances of the script or launch a new instance? We can check this box, remember my answer, and then terminate. And so now that is a toggle. Click run on it once, it will start just when you're running that app, and then run it again when you're done. And we can swap out these different files and see them changing with about a 2-second delay. So I'm liking this Nova 202 option here for the envelope arm button. Let's do envelope off, and we'll set this up so that envelope is off. And let's do smooth 6. And this is the overlay, the wrap around it. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. If you've ever tried to swap different image files for a Reaper theme before, you know that you have to have all these different browser windows, drag and drop, or rename things, and then you have to go and activate it in Reaper and refresh the theme to make sure that it's actually updated the correct file and it looks okay, and repeat the whole process over and over and over until you end up making something you like or giving up. Here's another one we can change. So TCP volume knob stack, and that's going to be the knob indicator here. And so clear view, we can easily change different fader styles or volume knob styles just by going through this list. And if we want to go back to default, we can just click on default 7. That's the default, and then back to smooth 6. Yeah, why not? Let's change it to that one. All the themes that have file names that are the same, it will list those. It will list all of those here. Not every theme uses the same files. Reaper 5 themes work best with other Reaper 5 themes. Reaper 7 themes work best with other Reaper 7 themes, but you're not going to find as much differences among them. Within this list, you'll find basically every toolbar button, track control panel, mixer control panel, media item functions. We can search, for example, searching for effects. MCP effects disabled. Let's open up the mixer. So hopefully you can see that, the MCP disabled. Currently selected one, it will be in bold. We can select different styles here. Clear view, black 6, default 5, default 6. There's Nova, smooth 6. So FX normal. Mine tastes too dark. And some of these even have the hover over changes. Looks nice. And so after some experimentation, you end up with a working Reaper theme that has images from various places, and it's automatically ready to use. In fact, it's being used as you're going through the editing, which is really nice. If you've ever had to manually swap image files, it gets pretty painful at times. So I've worked with Digitt to really streamline this process quite a bit. You don't have to unpack any themes. You don't have to manually create backups of anything. And you don't have to manually select the theme inside of Reaper. Everything's taken care of within this app now. So for the people that make themes and want to experiment with, taking the track control panel buttons from one theme and add it to another one, by far this is going to be the easiest way to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook and Blue Sky, support the Reaper blog through Patreon, and visit reaper.blog for more tutorials.